Good afternoon. I'm Christie ETHRIDGE. The 16-year-old accused in the murder of Ashley Kim was in a Columbia County courtroom just 3 hours ago. Sonny Kim is charged as an adult for the murder of his sister. Investigators believe his original plan was to kill his stepfather, mother, and sister and then commit suicide. Alma McCarty spoke today with a close friend who is still in shock and disbelief. We'll get to both of those stories, but first we're going to toss it over to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Coskren. He's in our weather center. Kevin, you know what you did. You said the S word, so now everybody's freaking out, getting excited. What are the chances of snow Saturday morning? You're taking a look at some of the damage from the tornado in Atlanta. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but you're looking at what used to be a car before a power pole came crashing down, just crushing it. You can also see quite a few trees down, some power poles also brought down as that tornado moved through the Atlanta area. You can, and these are not small little trees. I mean, look at those roots. These are thick trees that are coming down because of these heavy and high winds that are rolling through the area. But this is, again, in Thompson, not far from where there was an accident on I-20 earlier today. So lots of damage across the region. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that, being that mother? Well, this is what one of those explosives look like. It's easy to see how you could get it confused with just a regular piece of PVC pipe. It looks like it may even be trash out there, but don't be fooled. If you see one of these, do not touch it. Ben Billmeyer is joining us live. He talked to the mother and to the little boy who found that device.
They're at risk
and
here.
it really is hard to recognize them as a potential
Serious
explosive device. But also, Ben, it sounds like the sheriff mentioned that they may have been thrown out of the vehicle, and that's why they're kind of scattered across the area. You know, I guess I think about it, but I don't think too hard about it. And I certainly don't want to think about feces when I'm trying to pick out my lipstick color.
Right, exactly. You know, how many times have I heard that today?
Well, keeping kids safe in school is a full-time job, and after a shooting at Townville Elementary School in South Carolina last month, we're checking in to see what it takes to keep our local schools safe. Today, I talked to two people who've been in the schools and know what it takes, and they say crime and education are directly linked.
And the next thing you know, Arnold Palmer walked in and sat right next to me.
And aren't those stories incredible? They're
Love that.
so fun to listen to, and those stories could have gone on all day long. But besides how good of a golfer he was, almost everyone I talked to today who had met him talked about what a good person he was, too.
I love the way that he was comfortable with royalty, with presidents, and with kids at the golf course at the same time.
Exactly. Wall actually told me a story about one of those times where he was sitting on the bench with him. He made the CEO of General Motors wait just so he could talk to that kid. That's just the kind of guy Arnie was.
Only 9 years old, Christy.
Yeah, she's not even in the double digits yet, but don't let that age fool you. She knows what she's doing with the golf club, and this girl has a message as powerful as her swing. We're going to give you a live look on Pinion Road. We're being told a tree service worker was shifted by the wind. The worker was knocked unconscious while he was still up in that tree, and you're looking at the scene that's just starting to clear up since he was loaded into an ambulance to be taken to the hospital. North Augusta Public Safety had to send a ladder truck and a special unit out there to help him down. We're not sure if the wind shifted him or shifted a branch, but we do know he was knocked unconscious but has been loaded into an ambulance to be taken into the hospital. There's no word on his condition at this moment. We'll keep you updated as we hear how his condition hopefully improves. And Kevin, it's been a very windy day out there, from the golf course to people working out here in the wind. It's been gusty. The largest fire to hit Tennessee in a century killed 7 people and destroyed hundreds of homes and other buildings. The flames drove more than 14,000 people out of Gatlinburg. In January, the Harris family found their father's vault like this, floating up out of the ground in a puddle of water where the grave was supposed to be. The funeral home got crews to dig the hole deeper and even put a concrete slab on top to keep it from happening again. But the Harris family was still worried something wasn't right. And today they say they confirmed their fears. So we're getting a lot of answers today, but still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Thank you for that, Logan.
Yeah.
And Richard, still very interesting that car was found here in Aiken County when, if they're saying they could have been dead for a couple of days, that would have been plenty of time to drive much farther away. They didn't win a shopping spree, but the woman is going home with some new bling. David proposed to his girlfriend Brandy today with the help from the big man himself. Breaking first at 5, prosecutors in Tulsa, Oklahoma have filed first-degree manslaughter charges against the white police officer who shot and killed an unarmed black man on a city street. The jury is still deadlocked in the trial of a former North Charleston police officer charged with murder. You're taking a live look inside the courtroom right now. This is in Charleston for the Michael Slager trial. We wanted to give you an update on what's happening right now. The defense is asking for a mistrial, but the prosecution opposes that. They want to wait and hear what the jury has to say. But as of right now, the jury is still deadlocked, and these jurors have been deliberating for days. Actually, he started talking about this only minutes ago, so what we're learning is in real time. In fact, I didn't even have time to put stuff in the prompter, so I'm going to read off these sheets right here and tell you everything I know. But basically, Governor Deal made the announcement that a large cybersecurity facility, a cyber training facility, would be built on the old Golf and Gardens property. Well, it's always brave when a family pushes through their grief to share stories of a man the community knew through different eyes. And after hearing story after story today, it's clear Sergeant Greg Marr was so much more than an officer to them. Whether you're the early shopper or whether you prefer maybe shopping from home in your PJs, someone has to do the dirty work on Black Friday.
What a way to go. If you're going to have to get around the mall, you might as well just hop on board one of those.
Might as well. You know, the one thing I noticed, everybody is very happy for being around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Giddy might be a better way to put it.
Giddy, yeah. They must have had at least several cups of coffee. Or maybe like those girls said, all it takes is some Red Bull, Waffle House, and some Christmas music. I guess that's the magical combination.
Absolutely.
So here's what they're doing. And this kind of shows you, right here's where the leak happened, and they're building this segment of pipe around the leak area to try and bypass it. And the Colonial's latest update says they finished building that bypass segment. They're testing it now and say if the tests look good, the gas should start flowing through it tomorrow. A lot of local leaders are breathing a sigh of relief tonight, knowing that 18 Richmond County schools will stay under local control. And in fact, I'm here with one of those local leaders right now. This is Miss Helen Minshew. She is the president of the Richmond County Board of Education. Now, Miss Minshew, right now, we've been hearing these voices against OSD for weeks now, but tonight you guys got your wish. You got more time for your schools. How are you feeling about the outcome of this? We'll get to stories from the locals on Arnold Palmer in just a few minutes. But first, we have some breaking news out of Columbia County. A power pole is still down and blocking the roadway on a major Augusta road. You may want to avoid Washington Road at Davis Road. Columbia County Dispatch says 2 lanes are blocked after a tractor trailer hit power lines and knocked down a power pole. This call came in around 10 o'clock this morning, so it's been several hours that these lanes have been blocked, but officials say it could be another hour before it's clear. While the Bishops do not want the death penalty, they do believe Murray should be punished. I asked what a fair punishment would be. They said they'll pray for life in prison without parole. Now, Sims just took over this morning, so he hasn't officially taken over Ashley Wright's cases yet. Stephen Murray was last in court January 9th for a lot of paperwork and motions. And this is always a highly competitive process full of written applications, financial scrutiny, and even a site visit before they were chosen by a panel. And this year, 48 charities made the cut, and most got between $10,000 to $15,000 in funding.
That's a big boost, and if you wonder what the golf club over on Washington Road does to give back, today is a great example.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And people, they were so thankful this morning. They had an entire ceremony where each charity could get up and explain exactly what this money is going to go to help them do in that specific group. So it was interesting to hear
it's great
everything
to see
they're going to be able to do.
the Masters year round. Kevin?